Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Welcome back to Fandom Family Chats. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jeanette.
I'm Eve.
And tonight we are coming at you with Cruel Summer, episode 4.
4.
Okay. I was like, 4?
Yeah, 4. Although I rewatched all of them today, so I'm trying to, yeah,
We're
that's correct.
Together, the further in we get.
I know. I'm not forgetting about it. I'm thinking like on Thursday, I'm like, ooh, when's the new episode coming out? Oh yeah, it just came out.
I told you all earlier, I'm officially to the stage that I woke up in the middle of the night last night, because I just wake up in the middle of the night sometimes,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 40, this happens now, you gotta go pee and then whatever, but then I start thinking about random things, and now my random things are, I wonder what really happened to Luke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm processing this at 4 a.m. and I'm like, God, you gotta go back to sleep. Stop thinking about these fictional characters.
It's okay, Jeanette. He's not real.
I know, but I can't. I keep
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I really do love this show.
Really
do. And it took so long to come back for season 2 that I was so scared that I was not going to enjoy the season.
Same.
And a whole new cast and everything. I was like, I don't know about this.
I know, I was skeptical.
But
I am just as into it as I was season 1, though.
Absolutely.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I mean,
maybe
really
more.
Bravo.
I mean, I think maybe more for me, actually.
I don't know.
Because
I think maybe once we start interviewing the cast, maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel more close to the cast in season 1.
I would agree. But I think this season is throwing so much information at us quicker that I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I'm probably a little more invested even than I was last season. And I didn't know what to expect last season. Now I know the greatness that is in front of me. And so I'm really excited for seeing, because I understand how this is all going to play out. We're going to understand all this stuff. And so I'm more excited, I guess.
I feel like they're throwing a lot more clues at us all at once than they did season 1. I don't know if maybe I'm just making things up and I don't remember season 1 as clearly, but I feel like this is moving a lot faster as far as the whole mystery part goes.
I agree. I mean, I'm taking a lot of notes. I mean, I'm putting only part of it in these notes that I'm giving you all. I mean, I have pages as I watch an episode.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it. I can't do anything else.
A lot of pausing.
I can't even pause it, because if I pause it, I just completely lose it. So I have to sit there staring at the TV, touching nothing else. I'm a crazy person.
No, I told you guys the other day, it took me almost 9 hours to watch one episode, because usually shows that I can play and just kind of keep up with while I'm doing things. When I watch this, I don't feel like I can miss a word.
Not even just word. It's not even about just listening. You can't miss a look, the way they blink, the way someone takes a breath. You have to see every single second of the show.
Yeah, which is very inconvenient for my brain.
No, I mean, our lifestyle, I like to watch stuff while I'm doing other things. I cannot do this.
Yeah, no, we have to actually sit and I don't mind if it takes me 9 hours to watch an episode. I watched it.
I'm just going to plan on just rewatching them. I did today, after 4, I was okay, I'm going to go back and rewatch all 4 of them again. And so that's what I did. So maybe periodically I'll just do that. I'll just start back at the beginning now and just watch them all up to wherever we are. So
I think I might do that after we log off. So
we did get more answers about Megan's transition and how it began again this episode, but Megan wants to have some adventure, and Isabella was more than really eager to help.
She was way more than eager to help. She was pushing this whole
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I don't get Isabella
acceptance
at all.
I don't know.
Well, I think I rewatched again, where she was writing in her journal to Lisa, okay, or writing a letter, whatever she's doing to Lisa, and she was telling about how these people kind of eat up everything she has to say, and how it makes it really easy to mess with them. So I really think that's what it is. I think she doesn't even mean half of the things she actually says to people.
Yeah.
It's just about like making herself look a certain way, painting a picture and an image that they're supposed to have. So like
Oh,
in
yeah.
this moment where Megan's like, I want to do something exciting, she's like, oh yeah, let's be bad. Let's go do, like, I think it's just about an image. I'm not even sure I don't know what the true Isabella is.
I don't
I'm-
either. I don't think we're supposed to know yet.
She's not my favorite, but I am very, very intrigued by her.
Yeah.
I feel like she's kind of more like, I feel like she's more like our Kate.
I would feel the opposite, I think.
Do you really?
Because I feel like she's more misunderstood in like, I don't know if I like her or I don't like her, which is where I felt like I was like with Kate. I felt like we knew like she was a good person from the first episode. Like she made some mistakes or whatever. But like
But
Isabella,
she was like kind of made to be the,
like I think, yeah, I mean, she was definitely the popular girl, but I think, I don't know. As far as my feelings for her, it's more of how I felt about Jeanette. Where it's almost like she's misunderstood. She's trying to be this person that I don't think she is at all.
yeah.
I don't know.
I get what you're saying too.
Yeah. I see what I mean, I get, yeah, I'm seeing both. I don't know.
I don't think we're supposed to be able to compare them,
Yeah.
to be honest, but
Yeah. What I thought was interesting is like Luke was so like, we remember he was like trying to convince Megan to do these things, like, oh, come to like the beach with us, oh, do this, do that. And now in this episode where she's like ready and willing to do these things, he's like, wait, you want to go to a bar, you want to make fake IDs? Almost
yeah.
like he was like, this isn't okay if I wasn't the one to convince you that we should do this stuff, if you're not doing it for me, why are we doing this? It was just a little different side to Luke this episode that I was like, is
don't
that a red
know.
flag? Like, I don't know if it's like
I
I
don't
would call it
think
a red
so.
flag, but I think it was interesting to see. I don't know. I think it was interesting. Anyway,
I kind of took it as more like he was just surprised that she had come up with this and she was so gung-ho over it.
but it was just over and over again. It was the fake IDs. You drank. Like, I wish I could have been there. Like,
I think that
just,
was more jealousy.
it felt like a lot of jealousy throughout the whole episode with what was going on.
Well, Luke
Yeah.
didn't remember his stupid zodiac sign.
Which, okay, I have an issue with that actually. If I was to ask my husband what his zodiac sign is, I'm not sure if he actually knows.
oh,
Like, I feel like that's more of a girl thing to like know their zodiac sign
As
than a
some-
guy.
as someone who has never gotten a fake ID, I'm putting that out there now.
Yeah.
isn't that-
I never have.
At least
Oh,
on
I
TV,
haven't either. I
at
didn't
least
need
on
one.
TV shows, this is how it is. I'm not sure how it works in real life. I don't think this is a thing in real life, but they always seem to ask, "What is your zodiac sign?" As
Never
if
been asked that. Like
common.
the
I've
thing
never
is,
been asked that.
Like, is it
I-
common for you to have to know your zodiac sign and
no.
getting a fake ID?
My zodiac sign is very important to me.
I mean, like,
Um,
I know mine, but it's because I'm really into that. Like, but like, I guarantee my husband would not know what his zodiac. I mean, he might, but he doesn't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably only because I've been like, hey, let me read your horoscope. Like, that's probably the only reason he even knows.
Same for Ben.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's just one of those, like, oh, look, we're compatible, you know, like, and I have to tell him these things or whatever. Like, he doesn't actually know or care. And I feel like if Luke had just played it off, like, man, I don't follow my zodiac. Like, you know, I think
He didn't even try. He just like walked away.
as charismatic as Luke's character is, it surprised me that he wasn't able, like, to like pull it off on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
that was a
weird.
lot to me.
Yeah, but
Like,
I
what
don't
were your
know.
feelings about the girls staying in the club, though, even though the guys got left
oh, I
out?
would have stayed. I got in. Like, sorry.
I
It's
thought
not-
that was kind of, I mean, I guess that's my personality. I was like, that was rude.
It's not their fault they couldn't get in.
I mean,
I know, but then
look,
they had to sit there and wait for him.
yeah, but look, I just got into my first bar. I'm drinking for the first time. I'm not worried about those boys, not even in the slightest.
Yeah. Their
Maybe
fake
that's
names were
me.
hilarious too, by the way.
I definitely didn't get the whole one with Jeff. Like, I guess that was like a smart person's, like, the way him and like Megan
Yeah.
were bonding over whatever his name was. I was like, I
That
was
was
from
definitely a smart person thing.
from some kind of
Eve?
book. I'm not. Yeah, I know. Eve, you're our teacher. Did you get it?
I did not get it. No.
Okay, cool. I bet Maureen did. And she's not here. What do you bet? Because she's all into literature and stuff. I bet she like.
I'm not literature smart. I'm random useless facts smart.
I bet Maureen
like
knew.
it.
That's what I'm useful for.
But going back to, I think like watching like the make the fake IDs was like we got some information there too, because
Yeah.
we not only got to see like both of them use their skill set, but also like that aim message that popped up.
Yeah, from Crabbages.
Yes. Which I thought was like not a weird like, because what it was just someone that was wanting to teach her like C++ or whatever. Like, so the message in itself, I feel like wasn't strange, but she definitely reacted strange to it. And I have a theory on
Yes.
who that is already.
I have no feeling. I didn't even think about it.
I think it's the neighbor, because it's because I went back and watched like those episodes again, and she mentions that the neighbor, the crazy neighbor with the gun, was like used to be an employee of Apple. So obviously they're like, and they kind of shared that look with each other a couple different
I
times.
didn't catch that, I guess. I guess that would have been important for me to know.
Yeah. So she
When?
said like
This episode?
what, that he was an Apple employee?
Yeah. When did
No,
I
that
miss
was on the first episode.
Oh, I missed that.
I
Okay.
100
Why you
need to go back.
rewatch?
Yeah,
I definitely need a rewatch. Yeah.
So
I
I think he's her secret coding friend, which would explain like why there was like a look and there seemed to be some sort of relationship between the two of them.
Does anybody think this money might be coming from they start making fake IDs?
Possibly.
That crossed my mind
Possibly.
because they
Or
seemed pretty good at it.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. But see, then that, like, if you're gonna blackmail Jeff with stuff, like you can't blackmail him for something that you're involved in too, is like the other thing. Like, I don't know.
Maybe he was selling them and she was just helping with the creation. Maybe he can get in more
Maybe.
trouble. I have no idea how that would
Yeah.
work.
Maybe she knows it's easier for her to, get off the hook.
Maybe. I definitely think there was something to, I mean, of course, maybe it was just for us to see that message, but there was definitely something to us being able to see. And we also saw like how good she was though, like already. So I think, I mean, we already knew she's doing something shady because she delivered that like that disc or whatever to that guy in that first episode. So I mean, she's definitely doing something to make the money. But
Yeah.
we just don't know what.
This is 2000 and she's got $900 sitting in her
Exactly.
savings account. She's not getting that from tips.
Absolutely not.
Part-time.
Yeah.
Like if she is also helping her mom pay for stuff, like
yeah, which I think she is. Yeah.
Well, we kind of found that out today whenever she looked at her mom and pretty much told her to be an adult.
Yeah. Which
like, ooh.
I was a little harsh, which that was also a throwback to one of the other episodes where her mom says that to her, like, it's time for me to be let me be the adult for once. Yeah. But that was during like the time frame, but it was before stuff started happening. And so like that was sort of a shift in Megan's attitude, I think.
So I want to go back to them being actually in the club because the girls got in, the boys didn't. But something with the drink, the way she ordered the drink, the drink specifically, like, is it just because of Lisa? Is that why we knew? Or did they like set off the ingredients? Like, was that important?
I wondered that too, because it was a very specific drink and it was a drink. It's not like it was, I had never, and maybe this is just me, I've never heard of this drink either.
Same.
And so like, I mean, and not that I'm like a drinking expert, like, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it's not like we didn't call it, like, it wasn't like a Long Island iced tea or like a Manhattan or a Cosmopolitan. Like, it wasn't something that I feel like are things that most people have at least heard of before.
Yeah.
So it's pretty specific.
I'm like, and usually people do just like order rum and coke with lime. Like they don't usually like say the name of it.
Right.
I feel like the only reason, if it doesn't have anything to do with it, then maybe she's just trying to act older and cooler, like she knew a drink name.
Yeah.
It could be just that innocent.
Could be.
I don't know. I feel like there has to be some other reason, because I noticed that too, because as soon as she said that, I was like, why not just call it rum and coke with lime? Like, you're not fancy, you're teenagers. So
yeah, there has to be something there. Because I mean, she also mentioned drinking that with Lisa. So I mean, we keep getting this Lisa back.
And maybe that's again like with her just trying to uphold her image of this is her, she's fancy and she knows these like names for these drinks and just this
Yeah.
image that she wants to portray. Because like something else that was a little bit before this that I wanted to just quickly mention is when they're talking about Jeff, Megan says something like, I really feel like I can be myself around him just like I can with Luke. And Isabella kind of has this look on her face. And I don't know if that's just because like she can't really be herself around anyone. Like she doesn't allow that to happen with anyone around her, is the way I took that. How she kind of wants that, but like she puts on this persona, which more so I think in the summer of 99, I think we maybe by winter of 99 we were starting to see a little bit more, and maybe even by summer of 2000 too, like because her flair and her like trying to show off seems to drop as the time periods flow. So maybe that's, we're starting to see more of who Isabella really is by the end of it.
Absolutely. Something happened between that winter and summer with the coding.
Yeah.
I feel like it was in that kind of time zone that something happened with the coding. I mean, we know it's gonna come into play.
Yeah.
One way or another. That's in a very important part. We just don't really know yet.
Yeah.
Like Jeff being dyslexic, why was that brought up?
Exactly. I wrote that in here because I was like, that was too like specific to like bring that up. So
yeah, I mean, we have to question everything they say in the show.
I know
we've learned that.
And sometimes it's nothing. I mean, like Maureen said, going back to like the green ring pop, like that was nothing.
Yeah,
and we were all
it could be
convinced that
nothing.
it was, but
I'm still convinced that the green ring pop has to be something. And that story's over, and I'm still convinced that we're going to find out what the green ring pop means.
I
like
mean,
in
I'm
real
with you.
life, it's some kind of significance to one
Something.
of them.
Right? Right.
It has to be significant to somebody.
We asked, I think, everybody we interviewed about that dang ring pop, and they're probably like, these idiots.
We weren't the only ones. That ring pop was all over. Like everybody thought it meant something. So it wasn't just us. It was not just us. But going back to the bar again, we also saw the sheriff there, which we got to see a little more of, which we touched on that last week, that he's obviously, because they talked about him having money problems, and it's obviously a gambling problem because he's meeting with like what I assumed was a bookie because he's giving him money to bet on something. So that's a little more.
That was shady.
Very
shady, Mr. Police Officer.
Yeah, and that's an interesting storyline, just because otherwise he seems so straight and narrow and just like really like the by the book good guy, and I do think he is that.
I don't know.
I think he is. I think there's obviously something there, like with that, but I think his relationship with Luke is very genuine, and he's like a good guy, and that's why I don't know.
I just think the only thing I can kind of see that could come from that would be important is if he is in a gambling ring and has an issue and needs money, and somehow Steve is helping him out with money,
or somehow Luke got involved, because Luke we find out is scared of someone and is running. Luke spends a lot of time with the sheriff. Did he somehow get involved in what's going on?
Could be, but I don't know.
I mean,
I don't feel like the sheriff is really guilty per se of whatever happened to Luke. I think he's more so guilty of covering something up or helping them cover something up.
Yeah.
Than anything. I don't know. There's something there.
Like if Luke was to know about his issues, I feel like Luke would be the kind of guy that would try to like help him and try to help him like get out of something, and who knows what kind of people you would get mixed up with. And he might even do it without the sheriff knowing that he like tried to help him out. I don't know.
I feel like it has to be something. I feel like it has to be something. I mean, I like Jeanette's theory that maybe Luke got somehow, I don't want to say wrapped up in whatever the sheriff has going on, but maybe he found out something.
Yeah.
I still just think.
Then if the sheriff knows that, you know, all that Luke was going through, and now he's here questioning the crap out of Megan and Isabella in 2000. And I'm like,
true.
well, then that's real crappy of him.
That's true.
Yeah.
If he is doing that, maybe he is a terrible guy after all.
Yeah. I just don't buy the whole, I don't know. I don't buy the whole like him being scared of his dad. I think there's other things with his dad, but I'm not buying into like Luke actually running from Steve. Because I think
I don't think so either. I don't get that. I mean, I wouldn't be like shocked,
No,
but I don't think
I don't think so either. Because Steve, I mean, of all I don't know.
it's
The
hard.
Chambers family, I don't know.
They surprise us.
But I think that there's love between them, and I don't think there's anything like, I think there's just brokenness, which is what causes a lot of like their fighting. But I just don't, I'm not getting the vibe that any of the Chambers men are bad here.
I mean, there's
I don't know.
there's dysfunction there for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as to go so far as Luke running away because he was scared of something having to do with his family, that isn't really tracking yet.
No.
No, I can't say that yet. Really,
No.
Mm-mm. One thing I didn't like, I don't really like Megan with Jeff, and I don't know why.
Interesting, because I was actually going to say this episode, Jeff honestly seems like maybe he is the better, like maybe she did pick the wrong guy. Like he seems like the better option.
I don't know.
I know this rarely ever happens, but I'm with Amanda on this one. I am not really trusting Jeff right now. I don't know what it is, but there's just, I don't know.
He can win. He can like win me back.
Yeah.
He can like win me over probably. I haven't like written him out.
Yeah.
I actually do like his character. I'm not feeling him and Megan.
Yeah.
That's my only issue. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make
That's
sense.
fair.
Yeah. I mean, they could grow on me. Who knows? I don't think they will, but
Yeah. Well, they don't
I'm not writing
last.
them off either.
So
We have 6 more episodes, so we'll see.
we know they're not meant to be. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. And I think it was just, I don't know, like the jealousy that we saw in Luke. I don't know. I just didn't like, and especially since like right after you're jealous, you just grab Isabella and kiss her. Like,
Yeah, that was icky.
No wonder, like by the time we get to 99 and you've already moved on, or the winter of 99, you've already moved on to Megan, and you can still feel a little bit of that tension. I mean, no wonder, because it sounds like, I mean, almost as soon as you got with Isabella, you were kind of wanting Megan, but I wonder how long it took you to actually like admit that.
I think he wanted Megan before Isabella ever came.
I don't think he knew he did though. Because
Did
he
you
sure
not?
No, because when Isabella first showed up, he was like gun-ho. Like I didn't see any of these longing looks towards Megan. I honestly don't think he realized he wanted her until Jeff wanted her. And she wanted Jeff. Like it was like he was just keeping her around, and he thought she would just always be there as his like option.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch, I guess.
Go back and rewatch. I don't know.
To.
There was a clearly different summer 99 Luke in this episode versus the other 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Something else that I think that is going to play a part, and I don't know why yet, is that hackers group that Megan mentioned, the white hat hackers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, again, I think it's just because when you specifically call out anything in here, I'm like, is that something? Is she already working for them? Is that who she's working for? Like somehow, and it's not as shady as we think it is.
It could
but it
be.
has to be, because it sounded like these hackers, like they're still hacking, they're still doing like underground work, but it's for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe she's already working for them. And so it looks like she's doing shady stuff, but it's actually not,
It could be.
I don't know.
It has to be, well, like I say about almost all the clues, it has to be something. I feel like it's going to,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's going to come into play somehow.
Yeah.
Right now we're just at the stages of them just tossing clues at us and us being like,
What does this mean?
what is all of this stuff?
Yeah.
Remember,
exactly.
it wasn't last season. It wasn't until episode 9 and 10 when everything started to fall into place. So
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be.
Mhm.
That's true.
it's gonna be it's gonna take forever.
Our list of questions is gonna get crazy long.
That's all
Well,
I have.
hopefully we can get some of them answered along the way, a
I
few
hope
at
so.
least.
I
Yeah.
have 0 theories at this point. I just have a lot of questions and a lot of what ifs. Like that's all I've got.
I have so
Yeah.
many theories. None of them are probably correct.
I have a lot of maybes.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I really don't. I can't everything's like a 5% guess at this point.
That's true. No, I completely agree. I completely agree.
Also the pipes bursting. The pipes bursting's not going to mean anything.
No.
I think the only thing that to come out of that is I do not believe that 5K came from her Christmas present. I really don't. It's like $5,000 in cash in a white envelope. Like it's
right. But
it was weird.
do you also remember that I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I think they do say the amount of money that was in that backpack at the cabin was $5,000.
Was it?
So it is. Yeah, I rewatched it today. I'm pretty sure they say that it's 5,000 because he said we found this backpack and he lays the stack down. He said what with $5,000.
Ooh.
So that's the 5,000.
Interesting.
And I have a theory that when we get to our theories of why that backpack was there.
Let's hear that theory.
I thought it was weird that Megan was so adamant against taking this money. Like I get it that you don't want it, but like she's there, she's offering, like at this point she's your best friend, and so like there's nothing nefarious going on. Why not let her help? Like, or you'd rather get the money from Steve? Like, I don't know. It just felt like, why are you so against this? I mean,
did she feel like there were strings attached to being given that money?
I mean, maybe she said, what did she make the comment? She said like money always complicates things or something like that.
Yeah.
Or does she know where this money comes from and that's why she doesn't want it?
Now maybe that's true. At this point she could know that. That's true.
That or maybe Isabella's saving that for something important or something like that, and
right,
Megan knows about it. She's like, you're not going to spend that money on, I don't know, because I think if it's that, they would have talked about that in private together.
Yeah, they would have showed us that, right?
I don't know. Like I said, so many maybes, so many what ifs.
Well, like also, like, I mean, not only like, so now the plumber, I mean, he's not even gonna fix anything, so you've got to end up at the Chambers house, which, I mean, you just found out that Brent made the sex tape or whatever, even though I still don't think he did.
This dinner, man.
This dinner was like wild. And like I
wanted to get the heck out of there. And I was just I was like, I really want to leave. This is awkward.
Look. Okay, we know Brent is what he is, and probably a word that I can't even say on this podcast. We know this. Okay, I'm not denying this at all. But I think Debbie was out of line.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. She said, I had no problem with her saying, like, I think Brent owes Isabella an apology.
I was fine with that.
And I think his apology, it's not like it sounded sarcastic or anything like that. It was short and simple, but it sounded legit, in my opinion.
Same. I agree with you over there.
And so even Megan jumping in with like, feel free to keep, no, I mean, what do you want him to say? The thing is, I don't think he did it. And that's why he has nothing else to say. I mean, he did it with the other girls, whatever. But how do we know that they didn't agree to it? I mean, it's possible that they did. I mean, right? We haven't asked them. So like, I'm not going to sit here and say that he like illegally taped them because we don't know.
It could have honestly been Luke. Like he knew Brent did it. Maybe Brent's camera was set up and Luke was like,
yeah,
not maliciously really like setting it up and planning on doing it, but maybe
right.
seeing the video camera there and just hitting record as a dumb teenager. And he came back and bit in the behind. I don't think he would have released it.
No,
I don't think he released it, but I think I think he might have recorded.
Possibly. I could get behind that. But just her comment like about like your mother would be so disappointed. That's an evil thing to say.
That shouldn't have been brought up.
because that's also like a dig at not just Brent, but even just to bring that up, that's something nasty to say in front of Luke and to Steve, who you are a guest in his house at this moment.
Yeah.
Like
It was
that's
I didn't like it. It was it felt very inappropriate because she doesn't have, it doesn't appear to me that she has the kind of relationship with him where she could say that. Because I could see if she had a special relationship with them and she had a special relationship with their mother, I
Yeah.
can see how that might be appropriate, but it doesn't appear that either of those scenarios is true here. It sounds like it was really just a dig, which is why I did not like that at all.
yeah, I didn't care for it. I just thought it was
No,
I mean,
it
the
was very
whole
it was not her place to say anything.
all of it just escalated. I mean, all of it, like, I mean, obviously we didn't like Brent saying like, "Oh, you're going to regret that, Debo." I actually laughed at that a little bit, though, if I'm being completely honest, because it was just the way he said it, and I was because I think he's just a jerk. He's just
I think
like
he's a very
a pompous
immature,
jerk.
entitled
Yes.
a-hole of a kid
Yeah.
that doesn't
think
think
that's
and
all
that
it.
thinks that daddy's going to get him out of any trouble. I don't think he is our villain in the story. I don't think he's done
I do
anything
not.
malicious in this story.
He's
Yeah.
a teenage jerk. He's not malicious. I really can't. I can't believe that he's malicious just because they're doing such a great job of painting him to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I don't know. They're doing such a good job of that. It's making me think it can't possibly be more than that.
And okay, I'm going to go out on a wild limb here for just one moment. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like there was still more talk. His interactions with Megan are interesting to me. He seems real concerned with what she feels about him and what she thinks about him. And she has brought up more than once about how she used to think he was really decent, how she used to, I mean, like, I just feel like, I don't know. Did she used to have a crush on Brent? Did Brent
bet
ever have
your
a
best
crush on,
friend's older brother. I mean,
did
that's
Brent ever
not
have a crush on her? Like, I just feel like there's some kind of tension between the two of those that has not been explored yet, I think.
I agree. I
Too.
almost feel like it's obvious at this point,
Yeah.
the way they keep pointing at it.
Yeah. Because he seemed like a little bit like, I don't know, to me in this episode, I almost felt like he felt really hurt that like Megan was like,
He did.
felt this way towards him. And this is another reason I do not think if he did release it, if he did, he honestly believed that it was Isabella on the tape. And he was trying to
like
look out for Megan.
Look out for Megan. Yeah. But I really don't think he released it.
Because that's another thing, guys. I think there was some overlap. I think Isabella and Luke did hook up while he was with Megan. This episode, I didn't think that until this episode. I just, like, I want to know why Isabella was still looking for more tapes in Brent's room.
Yeah.
For what?
There was definite overlap. I mean, if there wasn't, that was a real quick turnaround.
Yeah, I think they did hook up, and I think when that video first started playing, they both thought that it actually was them on the video.
I mean, it was Isabella's sweater in the video, so
I don't know. I just get a feeling like I feel like there's a tape of Isabella out there somewhere. Or maybe not anywhere now. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is a secret stash somewhere in his room.
no, it could definitely be a possibility. Because she wouldn't be looking that hard for tapes for if it didn't benefit her.
Exactly.
Exactly. I feel like that's very much how she is.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They already had the video of Megan. I think the only other person she would try to protect is herself and maybe Megan if she can get something out of it.
Yeah. Another theory, okay, because I'm full of them over here, is like along those same lines. I don't think that, okay, Debbie mentions like, oh, I wish you had talked to me. Your first time should be special. And Megan's like, it was. I don't think it was with Luke.
I don't think it was with Luke either. I think it might have been with Brent.
I'm glad you said that because I was just getting ready to say, I don't even think it was with Jeff. I think it might have been with Brent.
I think that's the tension.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think there might be, which I kind of, is it weird that I kind of want that storyline to play out? Because
it's the same as we like the weird stuff.
We're toxic, Amanda. If Maureen was here, she would be like so disappointed in us, I think, right now. When she
will be
hears
later
this, she's gonna
tonight.
be like, really? But then it's gonna get in her head. It's gonna get in her head, watch, and she's gonna see it too.
She can be disappointed while she edits tomorrow.
Tonight, she's editing tonight.
See?
We're gonna get some 4 a.m. messages.
Probably. Right. What? Oh. But
I'm
yeah,
an innocent bystander. It's not my fault.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility for sure.
I think it's a possibility. Also, Megan does not still seem okay about Luke and Isabella's relationship.
No, and
Like
what was
finding the bathing suit, like you knew they were together. It's
Mhm. Yeah, like
I
It's
don't
not
understand
like
what the whole
it's not
bad
like-
thing was.
Yeah, it's not like anyone was hiding this relationship from her. She was there.
Maybe just because she keeps getting reminded of it. I mean, because also about the potatoes, like the cook making the
I kind of wanted some
Alma.
almost potatoes. I was like,
know,
what
they
are
do
they?
sound really good.
I mean, it sounds good now.
I did make mashed potatoes tonight. Thank you.
I had mashed potatoes tonight too.
Did you? I made a roast.
Oh, we had chicken and mashed
Oh.
potatoes. Yeah.
I made a Mississippi roast. Oh my god, I love Mississippi roast.
That sounds good.
Oh, it's so freaking good. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Anyways.
Okay.
but-
Also, we learned for sure this episode that Steve lost a deal because of the tapes. We kind of were being led in that direction.
Yeah.
Formerly, but
Look, I want to know what kind of like hillbilly like town this is that like we're willing to like expel kids, take away scholarships, take away business deals over like no, it seems so like crazy to me that like I'm not sure that I would make a business decision over something like this. Now, over the Brent thing, like we had found out there was like many tapes, okay, maybe, but like some teenager videos him and like some girl. I mean, it's stupid, but it's not like it's, in my opinion, it's not. I mean, I guess it is technically criminal because they're underage, but I don't know. I just wouldn't have made a big deal over it like everybody else, it seems.
no, I agree. It's to me, if I don't want to say kids being kids because
Look.
taping that is wrong. No matter
but
what
look.
age you are, it's wrong. Kids definitely should not be doing this.
I was their age.
But they're young and they're stupid and they make a lot of mistakes.
I've never made a sex tape. Okay. I'll go on record saying that. But
Same.
like I did
Eve has though. She's being all quiet.
very stupid things. And I'm their age. Okay. So like in the late 90s, early 2000s, I made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Like most kids do. I know friends that made mistakes. It really wasn't the end of the world. So like the
No.
fact that we're making like it seems like such a big deal. It's just
Like,
it's wild to me.
I get that the scholarship could be taken away. That's a real threat.
mean,
I do believe that.
Not if it was not her consent, though. I think that's where it's weird that like you're gonna take away her scholarship for something she didn't even consent to. Like that one's weird to me. Like taking away like Luke's scholarship or whoever you think filmed it.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
I don't know.
Uh,
I could see colleges try to take the scholarship away. I mean, that's been like
Sure.
threats in other shows and movies I've seen. So
I mean, if anything, it just paints her in a not great light, I guess.
yeah, that's what I'm
don't
saying.
know.
Like they just don't want that type of behavior in the college, that type of
Yes.
antics. I mean, look how fast Rory kept getting kicked out of Chilton
Well, that's true.
almost.
I don't know. It just seems like such a big deal over this tape. But I do feel bad for Steve in this. I mean, this is his livelihood. So like
Yeah.
I get it. Like this is like a big deal. I can see why he's so upset about this. And it's more than just like, Debbie throwing back about his image, him worrying about his image. I mean, it's more than image if he's like actually losing business.
No, absolutely. It is.
I mean-
And the more and more I get to know Debo, the more and more that I'm not liking Debo.
This was the first episode where I was like, I'm not sure that I'm into you. I don't know. You seem real flaky and then you want to like have a lot of judgment.
I
for
think
everyone
I think
at
we're
the same
made to
time.
believe she is a very flaky and not the best mom. She
Yeah.
puts on a good front, she puts on a good face, but the bills being past due. The dad on a motorcycle in the band that keeps coming back and
Yeah.
forth.
True.
You know, the house falling apart, no savings, Megan having to pay for all this stuff. Like it's all just painting her in this very irresponsible, maybe just not a, she's not a, I don't think she's a bad mom.
No.
I think
no.
she's just an irresponsible
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, like where
I
is
agree.
this youngest kid that I never see?
She was at a sleepover.
Where's this other child?
I was going to ask that because I thought that yet again this was something else I missed. I was like, have they shown her? And I'm completely
Not
like
very much.
missing it because they talk about her a lot. It's like on like old sitcoms where they talk about, you know, people who are never shown on camera.
Mm-hmm. No, it's weird. It's, I mean, maybe she wasn't like available for filming that day. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know, but no, she's in and out. She's in and out for sure. I don't know, Debbie and Steve. I guess. I mean, Steve gives in because sure enough, he sends the plumber over to the house as his way of apologizing, even though it was her that I feel like that was being super rude.
That's what I was confused about too, because she was like, "It's his way of apologizing." I was like, "For what?"
The same. I had the same reaction. I was like, "There's
Like,
he likes her too much for the way that she talks and acts.
Yeah,
Like what's going on there?
like she
Does he just
goes
like her
in,
that much? Maybe
she goes
maybe.
in, insults his family, and he rewards her by sending her a plumber.
and
Like,
paying
I mean,
God knows how much money.
because did you actually want her? Like, I mean, I get like, but this is a man that you supposedly like seem to be in love with. You know, you have a serious relationship with. You really want him? Like, his son could have went to jail for like child pornography. Like, and that's what you want to straddle this kid with that you know has been through stuff. And like I said, I'm not excusing any of this, but like, I don't know. I don't know that I would be ready to like. I mean, I don't know. My daughter's being on a tape. I mean, I'm trying to put myself in that mindset. I'm not sure that if, especially since, I mean, we don't know that it was him. Everybody's saying it's him.
Mm-hmm. We don't
I
know
don't know.
for a fact though.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just seems like everybody's just being real
People
quick
are
to-
mad though. Like these phone calls now they're getting. That's weird too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of town do we live in?
All of this just seems like too much of a reaction. Like I agree with you what you were saying
I mean,
earlier.
it's like we're living in the footloose town where like there's nobody's allowed to sin at all. Like, I don't understand, right?
No dancing for you.
It seems so crazy. Like,
No sex tapes for you guys.
why are you so invested? Like, to the point that like, I mean, you're calling her names. Like, remember in the first couple episodes, they were sending like blow up dolls to, like to outside of her house and stuff. Like, is
why
it this serious? Why are you going to the it's spending money on like blow up
a lot of
dolls
money.
to,
Those
like,
are
I mean,
not cheap.
that's what I'm saying.
Not that I'm an expert or anything.
I've never bought one of those either.
I haven't either.
anyone care about these sex
Saying.
tapes enough to keep prank calling someone's house about them?
Weird.
I get
Weird.
giving them a hard time at school and making fun of them, you know, in
And
the
it's-
school hallways, but to like call
Absolutely.
and prank call their house, like that's
Sure, write something on her locker, write slut across her locker at school. That I understand actually. Like, not, you know, I mean, like, I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of like teenagers that would happen. Okay.
Like the One Tree Hill when they.
I'm thinking about, yeah,
that's
exactly.
exactly what I'm well
That's what I pictured. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I'm watching right now. But
I'm not saying the word right now, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna
the
say it
word that
either.
they wrote on Peyton's locker that she ended up putting on the shirt.
Yes.
Like there's no. That's typical teenage behavior. Going out of your way to do all the things they're
And-
doing over a sex tape that was consensual, and I mean they were. Oh, but no, they think it's.
they think it's cheating, but it's not like Megan is like Miss Popularity to where you'd be like on her side that much, I don't think.
Yeah, and everybody has to realize that Megan
That's
and
weird.
Luke are still together.
Yeah. It just seems like a lot.
Yeah, we
But
definitely
it's
don't
just-
know everything yet.
just for drama, I guess. I don't know. Just
And
it's
also,
a
like,
lot.
why are her grades going down? If she's like so smart and she got into
Because she
UW
got-
and
because she's out partying too much with Isabella. She's gotten too much excitement in her life now. In a semester, you went from an A to a C.
That's
Yikes.
impressive.
That's like,
bravo, bravo.
I tried so hard to see what subject it was, but you can't tell.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
wanted to see.
and there you got me. I'm like, it's only one C.
No. Look,
I
I
think she pressed
heard
her A's.
look, I heard someone say, and what was it? Oh, it's actually Elena's cheer coach that said C's are acceptable because they're average, but no one wants to be average. And I was like, yes, here I am. Like, see, that's where I get hardcore mom. It's like grades over here. But
Not me. As long as it's going
look, the thing is,
like
as long as
this or this, when it starts going like this, then we have a conference and we have
well, this is what I told
issues.
my kids. As long as like what is on your report card is reflecting what your best is, then I'm cool with it. As of right now, my kid's best is not a C. Like, that's not my kids. I mean, I got the kid on the academic team and stuff. Like, a C is her slacking off, which seems to be the same case with like Megan. Stop it. You know what I mean? No, but I think that's the case that we're seeing here because all the other ones were A's.
Mine will
like,
just keep calling yours for homework help.
that's fine.
But
You might want to call her. He just wants to call her because he thinks she's pretty, though.
But I mean, that's another good point is that it was one class that went from an A to a C. It's not like all of the
True.
classes it's not like across the board her grades dropped. It was that one class.
True.
So it's
Maybe
like,
that's like the last class of the day. She keeps like leaving school early.
Ooh, maybe. Yeah, there's definitely a reason.
That just popped into my head a second ago.
I didn't think about it in that way until Eve just like worded it like that.
Yeah,
but
I know.
yeah,
Same. Like, and
Like,
it was
why-
also at the bottom of the sheet. I don't think that. I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, but no, I mean,
I don't.
well,
I don't know if maybe they do grades by class, like period.
It
I
might
don't know.
actually. It might actually.
It
That
was
might
the
be-
last one though.
I think my grades in high school were like that. Like it was by
It
class,
probably is.
but
It probably is actually. So that's a good point.
Somebody go find their old high school report card.
I do not have mine. In
Oh,
my
geez, I put those where they belong in the circular filing cabinets.
I can show you. I still have
Do you
mine.
have yours? No, I do not have mine.
My mommy just gave them to me.
But I mean, going back to the grades, like I think that's definitely painting a picture of like how Megan is getting from like getting this scholarship to where we see her kind of in the dark state that she's in. Because I think it's more than just what happened with Luke. I think it's all of this. It's just some path that she's heading down has taken her to where we see her in 2000.
Absolutely. So we got a lot of information in the summer of 2000, I feel like, in this episode.
We did.
Starting with the piece of fabric. I have no idea what it is.
I don't
that
either
she
now.
threw in the trash.
Yeah.
I thought it was like sheets.
I thought it was a dress, but it definitely could be sheets too. I mean,
It could be anything, honestly. A
I
tablecloth. I don't know.
it could.
I couldn't tell what it was, but given that, it was bloody, right? At this point, I'm assuming it was clothes because of that.
I mean, it could be sheets too, though, if we're assuming the blood. And I mean, because I mean, this is also, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and say this part doesn't really matter. Like, I think it has to do with the information we found out at the very end of the episode that Megan was pregnant. And I think the blood, now I'm thinking that blood like on this fabric and also back at the cabin is not Luke's, that it is her. One of two things. I think more likely losing the baby. I suppose she could have given birth and the baby is somewhere if she hid it really well the whole time. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the timeline. I think the baby would be early because it's only from when he disappeared to where we are in the last part of our story, 7 months. But who knows how far along. I mean, I think it's definitely possible that she's already carried a baby to term. If they want to do that, I think they could make that happen.
I don't think that they could have, because she would have had to have gotten pregnant before obviously New Year's Eve.
Right.
And then I mean, he goes missing in January.
Right. So let's just say, for the sake of things, she gets pregnant October, November-ish.
Okay.
By July, you could have.
But nobody would have, she didn't gain any weight. No, there was nobody knew. Or did
But the way
everybody know?
I mean, the sheriff knew. Because it wasn't like, did he just find that information out? I didn't get that impression. I got the impression he just knew.
Maybe she lost the baby.
I think it could be either, really. Or, I mean, I hate to say this, she could have caused herself to lose the baby. Only because Megan is very, and they've said it a couple different episodes, Megan is very focused on her future and is sort of not willing to let anything get in the way of that.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I saw on TikTok, somebody was talking about how they thought like Luke wouldn't want it or whatever. And I'm like, I think that's absolutely not true.
No, I don't believe
Because
that.
I think it would be more likely that Luke would want to keep it and she would not.
I agree with that.
Because she's not
Same.
staying
No, I
getting
agree with
stuck
you
in
on
this
that.
town.
I don't see her making herself having an abortion.
I don't think so either. But I feel like we don't know her well enough for me to make that
I
judgment
don't know.
yet.
Like
I
I feel like it's too early for me to know.
I know. And I'm not ruling out the fact that she like carried a baby to term and like hid it from everybody and like gave it away. I mean, I think they could make that storyline happen if they wanted to.
I just don't know if
Because
it's been long enough. Well, yeah, I guess
it's been long enough.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I need a tiny bit more in order to
I do too.
be
Yeah.
sold on that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I need a little bit more of the timeline to.
But either way, I think the blood
Also-
on that clothing and the blood in the cabin have something to do with her pregnancy. That I'm convinced of.
See, and I still don't know.
I think so.
I have no idea. The sheriff knows she's lying at this point. I don't
Yeah.
know how she hasn't been charged with freaking something yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have do they have the autopsy back? They do,
Yeah, 'cause-
right?
yeah,
Because
'cause
they had to have the bullet. Okay. They did. Okay, yeah. I remember. It's coming back to me now. I don't know. This is just for the fact they know it's a homicide and they know she's hiding stuff. She's lying. I don't know how they haven't tried to arrest her yet.
Lester. Maybe that's coming soon.
Because I mean, really, she's not looking good.
No,
She
it's a mess.
She looks guilty.
She's way more afraid of what's on that computer than the blood or what happened to Luke on New Year's Eve.
That's what I'm saying. I think she has no idea what happened to Luke. I went back and I know I've said this several times, where I went back and rewatched the episodes. Do it for me. She looks genuinely surprised when the body is pulled out of the water.
Mhm.
She looks genuinely surprised to know that he was murdered. Whereas Isabella doesn't always look as surprised in these moments. But that may just be her poker face, because that's just, who she is.
Yeah.
But I think Megan didn't know what happened to him. I think what she told her mother is the truth, in that she was supposed to take him to the train station and then deliver the letter. And when she got to the cabin, he was not there.
And maybe she actually thought he was hiding out somewhere.
She was hoping probably that he just ran off until the body turned up, which I'm still not convinced on the body, because we haven't seen the body. And I still stand by the story that he should have like decomposed like in that water more, to where
unless he was put into
a
a deep freeze in that cabin. That's the only way that his body would not have been completely.
Rewatching again, it is still weird that if Steve was going to call him out by name, why not just show us the body? Why not show it to us?
Because I think
I'm just saying.
Gross.
So I mean, there's so many gross things. Like I don't think that's the reason. I don't know.
There's something there. I don't know
Maybe
if Luke is
might
dead.
be
Maybe
wishful
Luke got in
thinking.
big trouble and Steve helped him
Get out of there.
get out of there and hide, and they faked his death. That could be definitely it.
That seems
we've said that before, but that could definitely be it.
that seems very likely. It seems more likely than him being so scared that of something going on at home that he had to run away.
I think maybe that was originally the plan, but then maybe Steve found him at the cabin and like then helped him get out of there and fake his death or whatever. But I think originally he wasn't going to tell his dad where he was going. I don't know. Like I said, these are all like just tiny little theories that are probably not true at all. But
I don't think anybody. I think Luke wrote the note. I know the sheriff is trying to like
Yes.
really push that on Megan,
no, I think so.
but I do think he did that.
Which this is where I can go ahead and tell you all my theory about the backpack a little bit. I think that the girls were both in it to help him get out of there. I think that backpack was stashed. Isabella gave the money to Luke as like a go bag for him.
That could definitely
Rather than like, because
yeah,
we
makes
thought it was
sense.
like a go bag for her, but I don't think it was. But the fact that he didn't take it means something else happened to him.
Something happened in
Or-
that cabin.
Or Luke, or like we said, or his dad found him and like helped him, or maybe even Brent found him and helped him. Who knows? Like someone else found him and helped him get out of there. If we're standing by like that he faked his death, which I think that's wishful thinking, but I'm going to stand by it either way, just because.
We don't really have much else, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking with his death has been faked, whether he did it or someone helped him.
I want to
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
Jeff is saying in these interviews.
Well, I think Jeff is the one that probably tipped him off about her computer that caused him to get the warrant for her computer.
I don't know.
I think Jeff and Isabella, or that's supposed to be a red herring, and Isabella's the one that tipped him off, because I also think that one of those two, maybe no one did know she was pregnant. Maybe it was either Jeff or Isabella there at the station that admitted that information to the sheriff right before she was questioned. So maybe he didn't know until just then. One of them
Yeah.
was squealing, I think, and telling information. And it might be that Isabella's lawyer, which I've almost come to the conclusion. When I was rewatching, somebody said something about her. She said something about her aunt.
Yeah.
I'm almost convinced that maybe Rebecca's her not just her lawyer, but also her aunt.
That could be it.
That's just, it hit me today. That was like, maybe.
It could be.
So
I feel like Rebecca's too close to be just a lawyer. There
Yeah.
has to be something more there rather than just a lawyer. I don't know.
yeah, I think it might be her aunt.
I think I can agree with all of us. The baby news was completely out of the blue.
That was not on my bingo
did
card
not see that coming
at all.
Same, not on the bingo card.
Nope.
It was that was a total. I think that was our first real twist and shock. I haven't been
Mhm.
like, oh,
Yeah,
of
same.
really anything. I didn't really like gasp either when that came up, but I was more like, whoa, didn't see that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good twist. Okay.
Yeah.
But I hope we get to see more about it next week. If it's not mentioned in the preview, but I need more information about that, because I think that's prevalent to
Yeah.
something happening. I don't know what happened yet, but I feel like that's important. A
Yeah.
child is important.
I think they'll say something about it. I don't know. In the preview, okay, here I had one question.
Mhm.
Just to start off. Isabella said someone is trying to frame. At first I thought she was saying someone's trying to frame me. But then I rewatched it and I was like, she's saying someone's trying to frame you. But who's she talking to? Is she talking to Megan? Because they don't show Megan like in that clip. It almost looks like she's talking to her lawyer, but that wouldn't make any sense. So I think maybe she's talking to Megan. And I don't know. I don't know. I
It looks like in the same setting that of her lawyer, like looks like in the same room.
And that's what I was really confused. But she says, like, I even went back and turned on the captions on YouTube to make sure she is actually saying you and not me. And she is saying you. Someone is trying to frame you.
I mean, maybe Megan's in the room too with the lawyer.
Maybe. So I don't know. That was I was like, who's she talking to?
Because I could see like Isabella trying to offer up her lawyer to help them.
Yeah. But I don't see Rebecca being cool with that, because I think Rebecca is out to just take care. I mean, she says all the reason to strike back. Like, and I think in that moment she's talking to Isabella.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Rebecca doesn't seem like she's no dummy. Like, I think she's gonna be like, there's no way you guys are gonna like collaborate on your stories, because like we're not gonna let, like, she's not gonna let Isabella take any of the blame for any of this.
No. Even though, I mean, we see Debo throwing out Isabella, which surprised me too. I didn't see that coming. Obviously, she comes back
Yeah.
at some point, but
And what would make her want to throw her out at this point?
unless it's, I mean, that because it didn't look like it was in 2000, summer of 2000, right?
I don't think so. The previews are sometimes hard to tell the time frames, especially because I feel like Isabella's hair is similar in both winter and summer 2000.
Mhm.
Like, so it's hard to know.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see for that one.
Yeah.
Because that makes kind of a difference of when did that fight happen
Right.
and what was it about.
And who's the guy kissing Isabella? Who's this guy? At first, I thought it was Jeff, if I'm being honest. Like, just because the clips move so very fast,
Hold on, I'm gonna watch again too.
but it's not. It's some brand new guy. The previews are so fast that it's really hard
Yeah.
to catch any information.
We haven't met him.
Yeah, no. So, who's he?
It's a mystery guy.
And it's
Yeah.
around Christmas. She's got a Christmas hat on, but that's before New Year's.
So, does she have a boyfriend somewhere? Like, maybe maybe this is why her and Luke break up. Maybe he finds out she had a boyfriend in St. Bart's. I don't know. Like,
That could be.
I
I
mean,
mean,
mm.
jinx.
Who knows? And then I couldn't tell. Megan finds something, some kind of letter or something. I couldn't tell really much of anything about it though. But she looks shocked to see it.
There's something shocking on there, but I've tried pausing a few times. I can't get it to pause,
Yeah.
and you can't
And
read
it's-
anything.
It's probably not actually shocking. It's probably just for the preview that she's probably making that face about something totally different, if we're being honest. So
I agree.
who knows at this point?
All
But
right, let's talk theories.
let's do it.
Let's get to this.
So I've got all my questions. So I think we just fire them down and we just all give our answers for what
Yeah.
we think the answers to all these questions are.
Yep, I didn't
So-
type them in because I figured I'll just give them off the cuff.
That's fine. Is Luke actually dead?
Yes,
Because I'm up in the air. I mean, I think I'm hoping he's not somehow.
I think he is.
Okay.
Eve.
I'm leaning more towards he is, in that whatever led to his death was an accident, but the way
Yeah.
it happened is not going to look good to the police, which is why there's such a big cover up.
Okay. Now, do we think the girls know? Because I don't think Megan has any idea what happened to him. Isabella, I'm not sure yet.
Mm.
I think Isabella
Well,
does. I think Megan knows
feel like
something.
Yeah, I feel like Isabella knows the full story and Megan just knows half truths here and there.
Okay. The tape. Who made it and who played it? I think Isabella made the tape. Actually, I still am standing by this. I just don't know why, but I think she did. And I think that I skipped one.
It's okay.
Anyways, I think Isabella made the tape. And I actually this episode have decided I think maybe Brent did play it, but I think he thinks that it was Isabella and Luke on the tape, and that is why he did it, to expose it, because he's got this love for Megan.
I'm going to go with my earlier statement and say I think Luke did it, but not maliciously.
I like that too now. Like at first I thought there was no way Luke would do that, but now I'm starting to change my mind, so I don't know.
But I do agree with you about the Brent. I think Brent might have played it. I think it's either going to be Brent or Isabella, but Isabella was kind of shocked about it too.
Yeah.
Or she's a really good actress. I don't know.
I think she thought it was her on the tape too. I really do. I really do. What do you think, Eve?
I'm starting to think that Isabella released the tape.
Mhm.
I'm going off that she's probably just a really great actress. I mean,
That's true.
she is very conniving. We've been learning that very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I have theories about who might have made the tape, but I don't know. I want to say Brent did it, but
Yeah.
then I feel like that's too easy.
Yeah.
So I'm going with, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Isabella released it.
Okay. Now, who do we think Luke was trying to get away from? Now, when I first watched the episode, I thought it's something to do with his dad. But I'm talking to you all, I've changed my mind like on the spot, and I don't think it has anything to do with Steve. I'm gonna go with my theory that he was trying to help. He found out like there was the sheriff's in trouble with some bookie and like some really bad person, and he tried to help him out, got himself in a mess. That's like an out there theory, but I'm gonna go with it.
I think it has something to do with Megan's coding too.
Now
I don't
that's
know how
possible.
I don't know. I have no theory of how that plays it together.
Okay.
But I just have this feeling it goes hand in hand some sort of weird way. It's going to
Okay.
tie it together. But I don't know why.
I'm going with I don't know.
Okay.
He was scared of something. I believe that he was scared of something, or he got himself into some kind of trouble, but I'm going with I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Fair. So what was Jeff doing for money?
Well, now I want to say that maybe it might have had the fake IDs like you mentioned, but I also still think that he might have been helping Brent with video in these girls.
See, I'm
I
gearing
don't know.
towards IDs.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the IDs too.
Yeah.
You can make
That's a
good
good
money
thought.
in high school from selling fake IDs.
That's true.
So I've heard.
Who's Megan's cyber friend her mystery cyber friend? I think it's the Apple neighbor.
If it's not the Apple neighbor, then I have no idea.
Maybe just another one of the white hat hackers, if not, but I think it's the Apple neighbor specifically.
I think
It's the only person that
at
would
this
know of.
point, that's the only thing that would make sense.
Yeah.
I'm 100% open-minded when it comes to this show. So if you toss more
Yeah.
at me, I can change my mind.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Everybody can.
Okay, so what happened to Lisa in St. Bart's what was it, summer of 98 or whatever it was? Or was it winter of 98? I don't know.
I
don't remember
think Lisa, definitely died.
Mhm.
I don't think Isabella did anything purposefully. I think something happened. And I think that might have even changed her psyche.
Yeah.
Like, I think she might be more dangerous now because
Than
of
she was.
what happened to Lisa.
Yeah. I definitely think Lisa's dead. And I think Lisa is the reason, because I mean, this was again rewatching, like the sheriff made a point to say that she was like at 3 schools in 3 years, and the last school she'd left halfway through the year. I think that's the St. Bart's. That's where she met Lisa, and they had to move her out of there because of something happening to Lisa.
Yep.
And that's like messed with her head.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lisa died, and maybe Isabella didn't really have anything to do with it, but she witnessed it, and that just messed her up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That could be.
We talked about this a little bit, but Megan's baby, I do think she lost it.
I think she miscarried.
Yeah.
She lost in one way or the other.
Yeah. And I think that's the blood. I mean, that's, I think we've talked about that a little bit too. I think
Yeah.
that's my theory on what the blood is.
Same. I do think it has something to do with the baby. The blood does.
Yeah. And so talking about the neighbor, I think then we're all in agreement that the significance he places to the story is that he's her hacker, like cyber friend. That
he's either
I still also
he
think
either shot somebody by accident
Mhm.
or saw something happened.
Yeah.
And maybe she is breaking him in for this hacking business and he's getting money from it, so he's going to shut up. I don't know.
Well, he was already involved though, because the cyber friend is already messaging her before her.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe they were friends though, and then she kind of got him into more of a a worse role, like a darker role.
Maybe. Yeah. And then I guess last question I had was the pills that Isabella flushed in that one episode. What do we think those are? Because that still bothers me. I think they're her antipsychotics of some sort, because there's some kind of pill that she's taking, maybe from her trauma of whatever happened with Lisa.
I think they're either her antipsychotics or I think they're one of like Debbie's prescriptions.
Okay. That's another question. We still don't know what is wrong with Debbie.
Yeah.
Because she's on a lot of, which I mean, I don't know.
Maybe she has a lot of mental, like,
She's on a lot. That's a pretty big pill box that like Megan was filling.
yeah.
I mean, it's one of the big ones, like
Oh, yeah, it was.
that like my grandpa has. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's a big one. Like, I mean, we have pill boxes, but they're more like, the smaller ones.
Yeah,
Like,
but I have one too.
this is one that you got to take different ones, different times of days and stuff. Like, so
Yeah, there's definitely something behind that.
I'm not sure with the pills. I was thinking they were hers, they were Isabella's, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards they're not hers,
yeah.
but then at the same time, I don't know what their significance is, like who they would belong to if they're not hers.
Yeah. So lots of
I think
questions.
that's all.
I
Yeah.
think that's it. And we'll see if any of these change next week, right? We may have
And they
totally
might.
different answers to all these questions by then, right?
Or maybe we'll just have a lot more questions to add. Who
We
really
will
knows?
probably have that as well. Definitely.
Hopefully we can get at least a couple of answers
I hope so.
before
right?
adding on 20 questions.
Our list is going to get long. Yeah. But I guess that's all we've got for tonight. Come join our Facebook group because we're wanting to kind of discuss this stuff a little more there. It's Cruel Summer Family Fan Club. Check out our other socials. Make sure to follow us on those. Definitely come, like, make sure you're following the podcast. You're liking, subscribing, sharing. Leave us comments. Tell us what you're thinking. We're really trying to like work on getting the cast to interview like we did last year with season 1 cast. The best way to do that is to increase our popularity through our podcast. So help us out with that so that we can get these interviews for you and get these questions answered as best we can, because they won't tell us much. But definitely, do that. And then we will continue for the rest of the episodes. I guess to keep bringing you these recaps and discussions on Fridays. And then our Sundays during the summer are our Netflix sort of like recaps and reviews and ratings and things like that. I think the one coming up this Sunday is going to be comedies. So that will be good. So make sure to check that out. And I guess we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Loving our content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to share our podcast with your family and friends. We want to continue the conversation with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under Fandom Family Chats, or one of our ever-growing Facebook groups by searching Family Fan Club. We've also launched a website, Family Fan Club 2021 at wixsite.com. You can email us there and keep checking it for announcements and merch coming soon. And of course, be sure to tune in every week for new episodes discussing all your favorite shows.